वो दिन कितने प्यारे थे, ये दिन भी कितने प्यारे हैं। तब बाबा साथ हमारे थे, तब बाबा साथ हमारे थे। बाबा अब भी साथ हमारे हैं।
आज बाप दादा चारों ओर की ब्राह्मण बच्चों की विशेष दो निशानियां देख रही। ब्राह्मण अर्थात निश्चय बुद्धि और निश्चय बुद्धि अर्थात विजयी। तो हर एक ब्राह्मण निश्चय बुद्धि कहाँ तक बनी है और विजयी कहाँ तक बनी। क्योंकि ब्राह्मण जीवन का फाउंडेशन है निश्चय, और निश्चय का प्रमाण है विजय। निश्चय और विजय दोनों की परसेंट एक है या अंतर है। तो क्या रिजल्ट देखी होगी? निश्चय की परसेंटेज सभी ज्यादा अनुभव करते हैं और विजय की परसेंटेज निश्चय से कम अनुभव करते हैं। जब किसी से भी पूछती है निश्चय कितना है, सभी क्या कहते हैं? 100%। और निश्चय की निशानी विजय कितनी है, उसमें 100% कहेंगे। क्यों? निश्चय बुद्धि विजयंती, ये आपका स्लोगन है। बच्चे, मैं आपके सदा साथ हूँ।
Om Shanti. Maryada Purushottam. The world of happiness. Any illness comes from a bad diet or some weakness. And so do not become weak nor step away from observing the codes of conduct. To be attracted by any artificial attraction or a false form means to cross the line of the codes of conduct, the boundary of the world of happiness. If you cross the boundary, you will end up in the cottage of sorrow. Stay within the boundary and you will be happy even in a jungle. Then there is fortune in renunciation. Then you are an emperor without even a shell. Even beggary life is a princely life.
Om Shanti. Welcome to Vikti Parivar. Today is day 18, Maryada Purushottam, the world of happiness. So today we'll be taking up Maryada 10, keeping godly principles. Now we will listen to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti, everyone. Everyone living in the world of happiness. Yeah. After belonging to Baba, everything has changed in life. Yeah. Our thinking is different, our seeing is different. Everything is pure, positive, and we remain in the world of happiness. Recently, Baba had been saying a lot, give and take happiness, no sorrow. Means whatever, there are little sanskars, especially when there is body consciousness which comes up more of a sensitive nature. So any little thing happens or someone says, we feel sad, bad about it. Right? But also Baba's Murli, you all heard this morning, and Baba is asking us if there is difference between the percentage of faith and victory. I think there should be 100% faith, 100% victory. But what happens sometimes, if there are certain adverse situations, we fluctuate internally. But if there is 100% faith, you will not fluctuate. I was thinking as a young person when I came to Brahma Kumaris in late 50s, there was so much, people were so against, very much against Brahma Kumaris. So it was very difficult to go. And when we went, there were lot of very bad worded criticism. But I don't remember I ever felt bad. There was like very natural, deep feeling that of victory must be, because I didn't feel bad. Whatever they said, and it was all right, you know. Many of you might be thinking, when you began journey, there was so much opposition. But we also had so much intoxication that we didn't feel the opposition. So there must be that faith and victory. But then as we move on this spiritual journey, sometimes certain things could create upheaval. And because of that, the faith of percentage and the faith of victory is not equal. I know it's a point for reflection. And we have to look at today, if I can make it equal. And Baba gave many methods of making all the four sides very strong. Four types of faith. That means if there is lack of percentage in faith in family, then definitely there won't be the experience of 100% victory. So very beautifully, Baba helping us to make both equal. 100% faith, 100% victory. That's very important. And then today, how the Maryadas are like precautions. When we take precaution, whether eating food or any kind of what we take inside us, then we are healthy. Our mind is strong. Our relationships are good. But if we just take anything, what Baba is describing as artificial attraction, then our mind is connected there. We have subtle desire or attachment even, right? So Baba says, if that is there, then you come out of the world of happiness. That means, whenever any kind of attachment or attraction is there, there will be sorrow. Very subtly, we know that nothing is immortal, right? Even in relationship, we know this also could be karmic account. Very loving relationship could change into conflict. That could cause sorrow. So Baba is saying not to have any influence or attraction. If you do, then instead of world of happiness, world of joy, Baba says you are in the cottage of sorrow. But if you keep following all Maryadas, then even if you are in cottage, you will feel you are like a prince in palace. Every step you take of renunciation, the experience will be of fortune. It's good, I could do it. You don't say, oh, I have to do so much. I had to renounce so much. You will feel fortunate. Every step you take, if there is some sacrifice, you will feel fortunate. We remember intoxication of Dadi Janki when she says, I am penniless emperor. Not penniless beggar. Even if we are beggars, then we are beggar to prince. So I like it very much when it is said that now at confluence age, we are in the world of happiness, joy. And Baba wants us to have sanskars of happiness. Just imagine, like old sanskars, sanskars of being sad or upset or sorrow, they all changed now. There is constantly the sanskars of joy and happiness. And we cultivate those sanskars of happiness because we have to go to the world of happiness. So even right now, life of a prince in the world of happiness, knowing that we are going to the world of happiness, golden aged world. So it's a very beautiful thought which we have to take as homework, reflect. And same is Maryada also in the form of principles. Right? And when any time you find you miss something or do something wrong, then you connect with Baba or senior. And when you explain or talk, it helps you to stop it somewhere. Otherwise, that sanskar keep repeating, changing into sometimes words, sometimes actions. Whether you keep chart or give your chart. So when you have that, then you will immediately take the power to change. And that's what Baba said, check and change. But remain strong, remain powerful. And always understand that these Maryadas are there to help us. And what we were searching was happiness. When we come to Baba, if we understand knowledge, we are in the world of happiness, right? So always remember, I must follow all the principles, all the Maryadas, and be in the world of happiness. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, Avyakti Parivar, everyone. Nice to see. I can see many faces. Om Shanti, Didi. Nice
Om
to see
Shanti.
you again. I have 4 questions for you today. Last time you answered all my questions before I even got to ask them. But today, I was listening to you, and I was particularly thinking about victories from this morning's Murli. And I was trying to see if I could remember a time when I experienced victory being equal to faith. And the only time that came to mind was, well, many times, but the kind of situation where I'm happy, even though I'm experiencing ego crushing, attachment breaking, emotions that are somewhat painful. And somehow I'm still happy because I've got Gyan, because I understand what's going on. And I'm happy that ego gets crushed. Is that an example of a victory? Is that an example of victory and faith being equal?
I think very, very good, accurate example that whatever is happening externally, but
Yeah.
what are your feelings internally?
Well, even when my feelings internally were a bit, upset, I was still
said,
happy.
yeah, so that's why I'm saying that.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking of how much opposition there was in the beginning, but it didn't bother, but internally like soul was happy. So that means when we belong to Baba, we enter the world of happiness. Right? Externally, lot of things happen. Each one of us, if we look at, in the personal life, family, job situation, but there was happiness, there was not this like sad and why this is happening, no fluctuation of the mind. I think most of us, if we think there must be the time when you felt that you are victorious. So good
Yeah.
example.
Yeah, I was looking for those examples because we want to feel that we're becoming more equal, the victory and the faith. Another question I've always wondered, so sometimes Baba says you have full faith. You all have full faith. You all have. And then it feels to me that our faith develops. So do we have a fixed amount of faith, each of us? Or does it develop over time? Because when I think of the beggary period that I experienced personally, or any of the hard times, those are the times where it felt like my faith, I don't know if it developed or if it was revealed.
I think what happens that in the beginning when we come, we have faith or we get faith, but then we keep using faith, right? If I'm using it, then the percentage is increasing. Like you could say developing, but I say it more, use the power of faith. So more the faith is power, and more I use the power of faith, that means I have to do something. And I just say, I have to maintain faith. So I am using it, not take it for granted. I have faith anyway. No, I kind of bring that awareness, make it, use it as power of faith.
So it's a
And
bit
then
like
the percentage has increased. Then we keep doing it. And a time comes that, it could be. I remember when Brahma Mama told some of us were sitting, how much faith you all have? I was 100%. That's why we are sitting here. That was in our, Baba said, no, we don't have 100% faith. It's only 70%. We were like kind of thinking, why he said 70%. Then we realized that we are not, when there are needs, whether adverse situation or even in the right situation, even if I have to do Baba's service, I am sent somewhere I had never gone. And Baba said, child, go and do something. So as soon as I use the faith, Baba is saying it, let me do it. There is victory. But if I don't remind myself about, Baba is saying I should have faith, maybe I will not will not get the feeling of or get victory in a practical way. So I think very important that whatever time we have on our spiritual journey, whatever happens, and have faith that it is beneficial. Whatever directions you get, have faith and do it, there will be victory. So it's like both ways, whether adverse or whether opportunities, you have to use the faith. And definitely there is victory. And that's what I find. Sometimes we don't use it. Sometimes we don't see it as power. And that is where Baba said mind fluctuates. And then we are not able to experience victory or happiness.
So it's a bit like faith is a bit like muscles. We all have them in the body, but it's only when we use them that they get strong.
They say use it or lose it. Right?
Like that, yeah. Another question, relationship between our ability to follow the codes of conduct and our faith. So Baba pulled out 4 aspects of faith, and I would assume my faith in self and Baba would be the primary ones that would help me follow the code of conducts. But of course, we need all 4. What's your feeling about the connection between our faith and our ability to follow the code of conduct?
Yeah, I think it's always important to have faith first, no? That these Maryadas are precautions, they protect us, they give us power, they are our boundaries which help us. So the faith in Maryadas is very important, right? When there is faith in Maryadas, then automatically there is self-trust also that I can do it. So as much I understand the benefits of Maryada, that is why every awake signal explains us, like today's, they are like precautions, they are like boundaries, don't cross the boundary, they are like Lakshman Rekha. You know, all this is given to us to know the importance of Maryadas. So when I know the importance of Maryadas, then I get the strength to do it. And when I am able to do, then that is where my self-trust grows, that I can do it. Because many habits we had before coming to knowledge, but when we came to knowledge, they start disappearing. Oh, I didn't realize I used to be like that, or I used to speak like that. You know, the transformation which happens. Because when we follow, then we get the result. And that result creates lot of self-trust that we should do it, I can do it, it's very, very easy, and it makes life better and better, right?
That's the victory, really, isn't it? That's the victory. So the last question, I know for me, I just had so much faith in Baba that I just followed all the Maryadas. And even if I didn't fully understand, I found out quickly why, you know, and they weren't very mysterious. They made sense once I understood, but I had so much faith in Baba that I just said, of course, that's what I'll do. But then it made me think, but I don't even know if I'm following all the Maryadas, because as we, like, is anybody following all the Maryadas? Or as we purify, are more subtle aspects revealed? And then we see, oh, there's this and oh, there's that, because so much of it is touchings and discernment. And what do you think about that?
That's what in the end I said, that I never thought about Maryadas of awareness, you know. So it's like I am a most elevated soul and looking at others also as pure souls. So if I do not have that awareness, that means I am breaking Maryada, which is of soul consciousness. Same is attitude, you know, towards not having right attitude or holding something in my attitude is not right, Maryada. So subtle aspects of Maryada are very much explained in these awake signals. And I'm really enjoying it, because generally we will look at Maryada about food and company and reading only, or Amrit Vela, you know, very but connected with actions more. But this is more connected with very subtle aspect, that no attraction. If there is attraction, then you will be pulled, you will be separated, you will cross the boundary of the world of happiness. So all these are very subtle Maryadas, which I think we understood. As much we understood, we were doing it. And why we doing it again, that whatever we couldn't do, we can still do it and experience the benefits of them, right? So immediately it doesn't happen. But because we have faith and we want to do it, then gradually it does happen. And at this time we can say, yes, we are following Maryadas.
Do you think that's one of the victories, is that we begin to see more subtle aspects, like, oh, this Maryada of awareness, that's actually one of the victories, is we begin to see these more subtle aspects all
Yeah,
the time.
definitely. Our faith in time could also increase.
Yeah.
That, as Baba said, 4 Maryadas. The
Yeah.
fourth one is the time, no? That everything also happens with the time. So a lot of faith in the time too.
I had this experience the other day of meeting time after being separated for 2,500 years, and time looking me in the eyes and saying to me, you lead, like bowing and saying, you lead. And it was a very sweet moment to think about, yes, our use of time and setting that relationship right is also Maryada, isn't it?
Yeah.
Using our time well. Thank you, Didi.
Thank you. It's
Wonderful.
beautiful. Yeah.
Wonderful. Om Shanti. So the world of happiness, any illness comes from a bad diet or some weakness. And so do not become weak nor step away from observing the codes of conduct. To be attracted by any artificial attraction or a false form means to cross the line of the codes of conduct, the boundary of the world of happiness. If you cross the boundary, you will end up in the cottage of sorrow. Stay within the boundary and you will be happy even in a jungle. Then there is fortune in renunciation. Then you are an emperor without even a shell. Even beggary life is a princely life. Om Shanti.
Maryada Purushottam, the world of happiness. Any illness comes from a bad diet or some weakness. So do not become weak nor step away from observing the codes of conduct. To be attracted by any artificial attraction or a false form means to cross the line of the codes of conduct, the boundary of the world of happiness. If you cross the boundary, you will end up in the cottage of sorrow. Stay within the boundary and you will be happy even in the jungle. Then there is fortune in renunciation. Then you are an emperor without even a shell. Even beggary life is a princely life.
Maryada Purushottam, सुख का संसार। कोई भी बीमारी, बद परहेज व कमजोरी से आती है, इसलिए न तो कमजोर बनो और न मर्यादाओं की परहेज से व मर्यादाओं की लकीर से बाहर आओ। किसी भी आर्टिफिशियल आकर्षण व नकली रूप के पीछे आकर्षित होना माना मर्यादा की लकीर अर्थात सुख के संसार की बाउंड्री पार करना। बाउंड्री पार की तो शोक वाटिका में चले जाएंगे। बाउंड्री के अंदर रहो तो जंगल में भी मंगल है। त्याग में भी भाग्य है। बिन कौड़ी बादशाहों बेगरी जीवन में भी प्रिंस की जीवन है। ओम शांति। ओम शांति अव्यक्त परिवार। Thank you, Didi. Thank you, Judy Ben. It was a lovely topic and lovely conversation. Thank you. So now let's fly to Madhuban. Welcome to Vikti Journey, Shantivan, where lives become as valuable as diamonds. Welcome, angels. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti Vyakti Parivar! Welcome back on your favorite plane, a Vyakti Vaman!
एवर रेडी हो ना? है? एवर रेडी? तो जो भी आई है वो मधुबन के श्रृंगार।
Om Shanti Avakti Parivar. This is so wonderful. Actually, we ourselves are very surprised too because we thought we know everything. But while looking at this new complex campus, it's amazing. We didn't know that they're so huge and big. And so, everyone, please, when you go to Madhuban, you must see all of them. It's so advanced and big, big one. So we feel so proud of our home, right? Madhuban, unlimited home, and it's our home. Thank you. Tomorrow is Monday, and our schedule will remain same from Amritvela tonight. Now let's remember Baba and take Drishti from Didi. Thank you.
सुख सागर के किनारे मेरा गाँव है। सुख सागर के किनारे मेरा गाँव है। जहाँ सतयुग में जाने की मिलती नाव है। धूप लागे जब तन मन को, धूप लागे जब तन मन को, बाबा छाँव है। सुख सागर के किनारे मेरा गाँव है। जहाँ सतयुग में जाने की मिलती नाव है। चारों तरफ फूलों की बगिया, मन भावन लागे सब गलियां। चारों तरफ फूलों की बगिया, मन भावन लागे सब गलियां। खुशबू बिखरी हवा में है यहाँ, मन आंगन में बाजे है मुरलिया। मन आंगन में बाजे है मुरलिया। नहीं पड़ते हैं ज़मीं पर, नहीं पड़ते हैं ज़मीं पर, मेरे पाँव है। सुख सागर के किनारे मेरा गाँव है। जहाँ सतयुग में जाने की मिलती नाव है।
Om Shanti. Good night, everyone. Om Shanti.